Good evening, friends. Today we are going to talk about the ordinary people. Bible is full of the heroes, and they have done mighty works, and they deserve to be called heroes. But before they did mighty works, before they are called heroes, who were they? Let's look at some of the things in the Bible. First of all, let's look at Samson. Whenever somebody says Samson, you might be thinking about very masculine, very giant person, just like Hercules, so much strength, he can do anything. And he did great things. If you recall that he tore down lion with his bare hands. He used if you look at Judges 14 and 15, he used a jawbone of donkey and killed 1,000 Philistines. And then he went to Ashkelon and killed 30 of their men. He was a mighty person. But when his hair were cut and he was tied with ropes, he could not break it. So the image of a very masculine, strong man is not a right picture of Samson. He was just like you and me, ordinary. Because Bible says in 1 Corinthians 1 verse 26, God has selected a weak people to do his work. If Samson is strong, God would not have selected him. And all the major or the marvelous work he has done when the Spirit of the Lord has come on him. Talk about Gideon. Gideon was a very fearful person. He was hiding in the threshing floor. And then when God appears and says that mighty man, he tells God that my tribe is the least, the smallest tribe, and my family is the smallest in our tribe. I'm nothing. But when God uses him, he and his 300 men kill 135,000 people, enemies. Talk about Elijah. 1 Kings chapter 18 and 19 if you read. When the power of the Lord came upon Elijah, he ran in front of Ahab's chariot. Now you know the fastest person on earth, the great Olympian who won consecutively in 2008, 12 and 2016, Usain Bolt. They have measured his speed. He ran 28 miles per hour. But he has ran 100 meters and 400 meters. You know how long Elijah ran? From Carmel to Jezebel, where the queen was Jezreel, he ran 20 miles. And how fast the chariot goes in those times? 35 miles per hour. Faster than Usain Bolt. He ran 35 miles per hour for 20 miles. But again, he was so afraid. He was so afraid and he ran for his life. You know the story. When 400 prophets of Balaam were killed, and Queen Isabel says that, I will kill you. Then he ran for his life. He was an ordinary man like you and me. He was afraid. But then when God provided him food, and with the strength of God provided food, he walked 40 days and 40 nights. What about David? We know he was a shepherd boy. He was not a soldier. He became a mighty king. But he had a problem. He was a murderer. And he committed sin. He was adulterous. What about Moses? He says that, Lord, I'm not a good speaker. What about Jeremiah? He was young. He was a young kid. And not only that, he was young. God told him that the people will not listen you but still you go and tell them. What is disappointment from the beginning? He was told that people will not listen you. What about John and Peter? When they were brought in front of the priest, Acts 4:13, the priest says that they remember these are the ordinary people. They are uneducated. Friends, all these heroes, they were ordinary people like you and like me. Because if you read 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 26, let me read. Brothers and sisters, think of what you were when you were called. Not many of you were wise by human standards. Not many were influential. Not many were of noble birth. But God chose the foolish. God chose the foolish things. If you think that you have no education, you have no qualifications, you don't have ability, you don't have a training, you are weak, then let me tell you, you are a perfect candidate for God's ministry, for God's work. Because that is a promise that God will enable you. God provided food to Elijah to walk 40 days and 40 nights. God gave strength to Samson to kill 1,000 Philistines with one jawbone. God gave Gideon strength to defeat and kill 135,000 enemies. God gave Moses a strength to speak in front of the mighty Pharaoh in his own court. Friends, God has given you salvation. He has called you for greater things. Don't let devil deceive you and limit you, because when you are not able, God is able to do great things through you. God does not want your ability. God wants your availability. When you are empty, without any knowledge, without any skills, without any strength, that means you are empty. That's a perfect thing. God can pour out His Spirit. He will put His strength, His wisdom, His understanding, and you can do great things. Remember, if you remember that nothing is impossible with God, Luke 1:37. And again in Ephesians, it says that now to Him who is able to do far more through you. Friends, God is able to do great things. He wants you because you are perfect. If you think that you have nothing, that's a great thing. It's a good news. God can use you. And God wants to use you. You might be saying no for a long time. Let me remind you, God is waiting for you to say yes. And He will use you mightily beyond your wildest dreams. God bless you and thank you.